Hey everyone, this is Wei. So quite a number of you have asked about figure drawings, tips on figure drawings. So let me show you some really basic fundamentals that you need to know in order to be able to draw your own figures and actually make up your own poses. So one of the very effective way of drawing a any kind of figure is to be able to draw as if you're drawing the mannequin of it, like basically a simplified form of what you see, right? Instead of all the all the complications like here on this figure, like all these curves. Let's simplify that, and how can we translate that into a very simple form, kind of like a mannequin. So for an exercise, let's just take this image right here, and we're gonna try to identify how would a mannequin would look like, right? So if I start on this arm right here, her arm right here, if I would draw like a kind of like a cylindrical shape, that would pretty much represent her arm, and then her her bicep area, and then her forearm, it kind of goes back a little bit, so we can draw that. So just by drawing that, you kind of identify the volume of this, right? That this is a cylindrical shape. So if I were to draw that, I'll draw it on this side now. I'm gonna draw this arm right here. So if I look at it, it's gonna be like kind of like a cylinder like this. Okay. And now you gotta be able to draw these kind of cylinders in perspective, and which is very easy because just do an oval and you do another oval and you just connect those dots. So here's the bicep, and now I'm going to do the forearm, and I'm just going to connect up to here. I'm going to forget about the elbow right now because you can do like a more complicated shape, but I'm trying to keep it to very basic cylindrical shape. So I'm just going to draw kind of like this. All right, that will be her forearm. And of course, like this elbow area will eventually connect, right? But we can do that later. So starting, let's continue with the arm, and then from here, and then I'm just gonna do the torso right here, all right? And the torso is just gonna be, could be a kind of like what you see in the stores, right? The mannequin stores, it's just like a big clump, kind of like a giant, you can do it as a big purse, kind of like a little flat bottom right here. So a little bit rounded here, right? A little bit rounded because it's just it tapers in as it goes toward the neck. So now we have the torso area. Now let's do the neck, right? So the neck is just going to be another cylindrical shape. So we're going to draw a little cylinder here. Now there's not a lot of, if you can imagine a cylinder in here, it might be kind of, from this view, it actually look like kind of like a square because there's no, you're kind of seeing it head on. So it's going to be like something like this. And then the head, okay, the head's a little bit more complicated, but we can just, do something like this, and then draw the straight line right here, for a face. It kind of curves if you look at the reference here. And then the eye, you see like from the ear to the eye, you see how it rounds like that, and that's basically kind of, you can do it like this. Okay. Now it's not very exact, but this curvature here will, give you an indication that she's looking up. So that's how we, we're able to visualize, the angle, what the head is doing. So if we continue to the arm, okay, so we're going to do this arm. Let's go straight up here. Again, I'm going to end the arm right around here. I'm not going to do the elbow. So we're going to do that. As you can see, I'm ending it here too because I'm trying to keep, all the cylindrical shapes just like this, none of this skewing or whatever. I'm just trying to keep it really simple. So from there, I think I'm going to draw this shape here, which is going to be right around here. Right, it goes in. Okay. So again, you're kind of almost hitting it straight on, so it actually looks like a little box. Okay, so let's move down to the hip area. Okay, now for this part here, some people actually do like a ball right here or whatever. You can try skipping it and actually go down to the hip because that is the more kind of bigger area, a little bit more important. So if I do this shape here, and it actually looks like what she's wearing, just the swimsuit. And you can actually draw like kind of, you could do like an underwear, like a man's underwear. So it's a little bit more complicated shape, right? But if you see it head on, it's gonna be like this, right? I think you all know what a underwear looks like. So from there, okay, so that, and then once you have the hip, you can connect the the tummy area, the waist. You just kind of go down and just connect it. Okay. Now I'm trying a little bit bigger, so let me push this up a little bit. And then now the thigh area, again, I'm gonna keep it simple, and I'm gonna draw a cylinder going this way. I'm gonna forget about this area for now, because this is another area that I can actually just connect. So from here, I can draw, okay, see a cylinder arcing this way. Now if you want to be a little bit more precise, you can just draw the whole thing like that, right? Draw like an oval, and then you can connect that, right? And then this one is gonna be probably somewhere in here, so you can draw something like that, go straight down. So now that you have these cylinders, and now you can actually draw behind it, so that you can visualize better, that something is going behind, and it's actually very useful. Okay, so once you have this, now you can connect this, right? And now you can follow, you kind of follow this curvature here, and you just kind of do that, and follow that. Okay. Now let's see, for the torso, obviously she's got some breasts, so you can push those out a little bit. Okay. So okay, let's go back up. So if I connect the right here, I can draw the elbow. Okay. And then the hand's a little bit more complicated to see, especially at this angle too. Let me just rough it in real quick. It's actually hard to see what's going on there by this finger, something like that. Now this one is a little bit easier, it kind of goes up, right? So you have your palm here, okay? And then I guess the thumb's behind, and then you just draw the fingers. So the fingers are kind of the same. You can, a lot of times you can just draw the hand like this. Like if you look at it from the top, okay, you have your thumb here, and then you can just draw kind of like a robot hand basically. So that's one way of doing the hand. Again, it's basically, it's just like the arm or any kind of limb, but it's just the hand is more complicated just because there's so many joints. Okay, so here let's just connect this and that. Okay, the shoulder. I'm going to connect this line here. So connect this, the shoulder, the hair. So with these cylindrical shapes, now you've drawn basically the mannequin of this figure, and it's a very good exercise because now you see how these curvature. Now I'm just going to delete the inside a little bit here. These curvature lines, kind of define, any kind of foreshortening, which is, when you draw the human body, is actually gets pretty complicated because, when things coming toward you and things like that, like, you have a cylinder here. Right, this thing comes right at you, and then let's say, I don't know, maybe another cylinder here coming down. So these kind of shapes are very complicated, but if you draw in these cylindrical lines like this, as if you're running along the surface, immediately you can see the volume, right? You can feel the volume here, and it's a really good exercise so that you can see correctly. I mean, get used to drawing, these kind of cylindrical shapes to represent, all kinds of limbs, right? Now you can bend them if you like, but it's just get used to drawing just things like this. And these are just basic perspective. You have your vanishing point. You have let's say you have a oval shape here. You connect that, right, and then you draw another oval shape, and that will give you your cylinder. Of course, this is a little bit messed up, but so that's the idea. Just draw these shapes, and then keep it real simple, and then you can always connect these parts. And so for the hip, just draw like the underwear, and then the thigh, and then you can connect these. Alright, so let's do another one before we move on to making our own poses. So this kind of poses where there's a lot of foreshortening here, sometimes creates a lot of problem, in drawings, because you want to. It's kind of difficult to get it accurate. But let's apply the mannequin technique, and let's try to get this correct. I'm just gonna start on the torso area here. Okay, I'm just gonna draw this part right here. This is gonna be our torso. It's gonna come in right around there, and it's hard to see because you're basically just seeing the top of it. So let's just rough something in like this, okay, as if we're seeing the top of it. Okay, so this is the curvature here, and it's gonna go back, and then from there we can start with the arm, do the biceps right here, right? So we're just gonna come straight down like this with the cylinder, and it's almost flat. Maybe there's a little bit of curvature right here because it's kind of, it goes back a little bit. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, and then this arm here obviously goes forward, right? So that's why you have this curve here like this. So I'm gonna draw that. This is gonna curve outward. I mean, come toward you like this, right? Okay, and then the hand can just be right here somewhere. Okay, so we're gonna go back here, and now the shoulder here, we can connect it, right? So we don't have to worry about that for now. So let's do the other arm since we're at it. So right here, this is kind of probably like around, probably goes down a little bit, going away from you a little. Okay, just gonna come straight down. It's gonna be kind of like this. Now, even though you don't really see it, I'm still drawing it, right? Because this whole exercise is to draw these cylinders, in three-dimensional shape, so that we can feel the volume. Okay, so I'm drawing that even though we can't see it, but it'll give me placement for when I'm drawing the forearm. So we look at the forearm. Obviously, this is coming toward you, right? So the lines would be like that. So we're gonna draw a cylinder like this. Okay, it's gonna come right at you. Now notice I'm just drawing a circle because it's just sometimes just a lot easier. Okay, so now we do that, and then we connect this. So you can see all this stuff inside. I mean, I can erase it, or you can just leave it because it actually, they're just guidelines anyway. And then the hand's gonna come, right at you. Okay, and the fingers will be. I'm just gonna skip the fingers for now. Okay, so the shoulders, as you can see, we can just connect them. It's not a big deal. Now, her boobs right here. Let's see. Well, they're just kind of hanging, kind of like melons. I guess you can just go like that. All right. So just kind of like melon shape. Okay, so now let's get to the neck area because this is a little bit tricky. So if we look at the neck, it starts right around here, right? So that would be kind of where it would be, and it's actually curving, right? It goes upwards. Okay, so we're gonna do a shape like this. Okay, that's where the neck's coming out, and it comes up, and then here we have the head. So now the head, watch. I'll just do a circle approximately without measuring. So I just show you the where the ear is right here, goes to the eye. So that's the curvature, right? And then also we'll split it right in the center right here, so you can see where the curvature is. So the center goes around this way. There's curve this way, and then the ear from the eye curves this way. So now this might not be all that accurate in terms of size and stuff, but these lines right here will show you the volume of the sphere. Okay? And if you actually go, you can actually draw the back of it too. Just to give you a sense of the volume. Okay. So now we have the head. Now here's the this part is kind of tricky because you really can't see it, right? So everything's behind. So we can start from here, from where her swimsuit is, and then we can draw pretty much like we can draw the underwear shape. It's a little bit hard to visualize just because of the angle right here. Okay, so we'll come. Okay, so way off. So we're gonna draw the underwear. Let's see, right around here. That come out. It's pretty hard to see, but it's gonna be, if you draw the whole thing, it'll probably be like something like this, right? And even though you can't see this part, I'm drawing it anyway, just so that you get a sense of how far it's going, because you probably need it, when you do the leg right here later, anyways. So from here, the thigh here is pretty straightforward, right? It just kind of goes straight down. Okay, so it's gonna do this. Okay, and then here's the knee. It's in the sand, so you can't see it. Now for the shin area, it's going way back, so it's gonna be kind of like this, right? This kind of line. So we have to draw that to make sure that we know that it's going back. So we're gonna have this curvature here, and we curve it back, and then until where it meets the foot, and the foot can just be kind of like a bun or whatever, it's kind of roundish shape. So you have this, and then you can draw. Now you can draw the inside of the leg, which is gonna be right around here. Okay, so like that, and then the knee. Okay. So now we can quickly connect this. So with these shapes, now you can start feeling the form a little bit, right? How it wraps around. You can do lines like this again. You just can feel the volume of things. And I know it's not all that accurate, but the idea is to get used to drawing these kind of mannequin figures, and then these little cylinders and tubes, and then you can just fill in the gaps and these curvature lines so that you can see which direction it's kind of facing. Alright, so let's stop looking at this fine hot woman, and let's get back to work. Alright, so let's do some sketches with just some basic poses, just kind of random stuff, with these mannequins. So to start off, I'm just gonna do like the torso area. Okay, from here, here, here. So here you have the little purse. Now let's say what the arm's gonna do. Well, let's just have it extend outwards like this, and then maybe you can just keep going this way. Okay. And then let's say this arm, maybe you go back this way, and then maybe it'll come back out. Okay, then we go this way. And then your hands, maybe holding a fist. Then let's go down. So right here we can do drawing the underwear. Let's say we're just gonna do something like this, and then maybe the legs can just come straight out this way, and then maybe it can go out toward away from you. We'll do this, and maybe here, maybe we'll come up, maybe we'll come toward you, kind of like this, as if you're squatting, and then let's go straight down. And then you got shoes. Now notice that I left the head last, and it's actually a very good technique to draw the head last, because the center is right around here, right? Your belly button. So it's a lot easier to and so you can imagine, like, everything is growing from the center of the from the center outwards. So it's a lot easier to adjust your limbs to the pose than to try to adjust the your center of gravity. That's why the head is kind of like any other limb, like your arm or your leg. So in general, it's actually a very good idea to do it last. Okay, so we have something like this, and let's do another quick one. I'm not sure what it's doing, but let's say this is the torso. Okay, then here's the underwear. His hands coming right at you. Alright, let's do some extreme foreshortening. Okay, so you can see there's one cylinder right here, and there's another one. I know it's not very good, well defined. Maybe we'll do a better job here. Let's say I'll do here, and then maybe you can have it go up a little bit. Okay, so here's the neck. Okay, so the hands, maybe it can just be this could be like Superman or something coming right at you. Okay, and then here let's do, well, maybe one of them can kind of come out a little bit. Right, coming toward you a little bit, and then this can swing back away from you, and then maybe this one can just go let's have it just go back, as if it's kind of, and then well, this can be straight, just kind of goes back. So this is very much like what you see in comic books, right? I mean, this is usually how they draw when roughing out the poses. So here's the head last. Now, why I like to do this last is because, what if I had drawn a head like this or something? That just kind of changes. It looks kind of weird, right? Because if it's going this way, it's not really balanced with the hip. It's a little bit strange right here. So I'll get rid of that. So I think if I try to do something like this, it's a little bit more natural, maybe. Yeah. Okay. So that's why it's easier to adjust the head, right? To fit the right pose, because if your head was there, it's kind of too hard to move the body. So from here, then you can just connect the points or whatever, and you can have your comic book superhero, right? Something like that, chest, okay, and cape. Maybe it can be like Thor. I don't know. His helmet, his nose, his eyes. So I mean, you get the idea, right? It's just do a lot of this kind of cylinders and just connect them. Just play with the shapes. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, you can draw poses and characters like this fairly quickly. But for this exercise, just concentrate on drawing these cylindrical shapes, because the human body is really complicated, and this is just the beginning. It's really basic stuff to understand in order to draw figures nicely. So that's it for this tutorial, and just give it a shot. Have some fun with it and see how it goes. And hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.